Hello and welcome back to the best part of your week. Welcome back to another episode of the Love, Death and Movies podcast. Internet number one film breakdown and review show. The show that crushes watch list week after week. Every month is a different genre. Every week is a different film in that genre. So follow us on everything genres. The right, let's watch the movies. Almost. You know, sometimes you got to trip. Why do we fall, Master Wayne? So I can get back up.
Some days you just don't have it, you know?
With me each and every week, Pride of the West Coast, Ash Roast Movies. Sometimes you just don't have it. Ash, how are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. We're finishing off our month of Tom Cruise films. We're coming to the end. We're finishing off with Jerry Maguire as a month of movies that you just haven't seen any of. How you feeling at the end of this? Knocking some off the watch list. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's good. I feel like I haven't really been able to see new releases this year. I've just either haven't been interested in them or haven't been able to get to the theater. So it's kind of nice. Yeah, it's nice to see some stuff I haven't seen before, even if it's older. And obviously this was a big blind spot for me as far as Tom Cruise movies. So yeah, no, I'm happy we did this because I've definitely got, a few that I really loved and some that I just really liked, and I'm happy I watched them. So yeah, it was a solid month of first watch.
Hell yeah.
The first watches.
I feel like we should go, but we should do some more Tom Cruise. Not soon. Don't have like there's just so much more.
He's been in a fuck ton of movies. I was looking at his filmography and it just kept going.
Yeah, he's got a lot of diversity, and especially if you haven't seen Mission Impossibles and the new one's about to come out, you need to watch them, Ash. You will love them. They're so good.
I need a little break, but yeah, I will at some point.
They're so good. Yeah, because I think it comes out in a couple of weeks. It comes out next month. Which I'm going to start doing my rewatches as well. I can't wait. But Ash, how's your week? Tell me what's been happening.
Oh, the week's okay. Yeah, I've been kind of making some changes in my health and personal life. We were just talking about it, just, trying to eat better and sleep better and exercise and, get all your work done.
It's the basics that kill you, though. It's the basics that kill you and build you. That's how I say it. But hell yeah.
No, it's been good. I mean, it's been easier than I thought it would be. I got this app that I started paying for that's, I'm tracking everything on. So that's been
sick.
Making it really easy to scan everything. And
MyFitnessPal?
No, I used to use that. I started using a new one called Macro Factor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like it better. It doesn't have some of the things that I liked about FitnessPal, but I like it overall better. And you weigh in and you track everything. It's just kind of more comprehensive.
More of like a profile of you rather than like what you ate.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not too expensive, but yeah, it's been good and definitely been feeling better this week already. And work was a little less crazy than earlier in the month. So I guess it's been fine.
That's good.
Yeah, been watching a lot of TV lately. Rewatched the Legally Blonde musical last night. It's just the best. So yeah, I guess it was a pretty good week.
That's good. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah. Yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. It's been a short week for Australia. We had 2 public holidays this week, so it's been a 3-day week. Nice. We had Easter Monday. Easter Monday to start off the week, which is good fun. We haven't recorded an episode in a couple of weeks. I went away for Easter. Went to the country, visited my family, visited my mum, which is good. It was like, dude, it is because I live in the city. I live in Sydney City, just outside the CBD, but it's busy. And I love it here. I love it busy. But going to sleep in a country town, I can't describe how peaceful that sleep is.
Probably how I normally sleep every night.
I turn off my, you do a doom scroll before you go to sleep, and I turn off my phone, and it's just so loud how silent it is. It's just I don't know how to describe it, but it's just nothing. And it was really good. It was good to reset, but I'm glad I'm back to civilization. But got to see a couple of movies. I saw Drop, didn't like it. Thought it was very average. Thought it was a good short film that was extended for 90 minutes. I'd like to see what you think, but definitely don't go to the theaters for it. Wait for streaming. Accountant 2. If you like The Accountant 1, you're going to love Accountant 2. And I loved Accountant 1.
The Accountant. It's been a long time now. I should probably rewatch it.
It's a bit different. It's they very much go more towards the humor. And I think it works entirely. I think John Bernthal and Ben Affleck are great together, great chemistry.
You think they're starting a franchise?
I would absolutely. My Letterboxd review is Rain Man cross John Wick. Zero exaggeration. I'd watch a fucking million of these movies. So 100%. But then I got to finish the week off with The Surfer, the new Nicolas Cage film, which I've been looking forward to. Ash, a quarter of the people walked out during this film. This film is nuts.
Because it's so intense, or because they
It's
didn't?
just so weird and zany, and like it's literally wake and fright. It's
Okay.
like that's how I describe it. It's
So because
lit.
I've seen Wake and Fright, I'm going to be mentally
I think you
prepared.
will be okay, yeah. But it's so fucking cool, and I love it. And I thought I loved it. I think it's either that or Sinners for my movie of the year. I'm leaning towards The Surfer, to be honest. But I do want to watch Sinners again because I think Sinners will probably top it.
Mhm.
But the Surfer was just like everything that I wanted from a film that day specifically, which is good. But then yeah, yesterday I had Anzac Day, which it's like our Remembrance Day.
Yeah, I would think we talked about this last
Yeah,
year. Okay. I forgot it was in April, but
yeah. I started up yesterday. I did the dawn service. So I woke up at dawn and used to go to a little war memorial dawn service. But we do the thing in Wake and Fright. It's legal once a year, every year in Australia. Is two up, which is the coin, the
Mhm.
flipping coin, and it's nuts. So I was in like this place in Manly, which is just on the water in near where I live, at a bar called Wharf Bar, which is literally name on the tin does what it says on the tin. It's literally a bar on the wharf. So on the wharf, there's this giant crowd surrounding this guy flipping coins, and it was there for hours. My mate lost like $500. I was very because I'm like I bet on sports. I don't really bet on two up. I lost $5. Well, I kept gaining heaps, and then I lost, and then kept gaining. But then I end of the day lost $5. I'm like, hey, that's good. So I backed away. Then won heaps on the AFL. It doesn't matter. But that shit's just good fun. It was a massive day of drinking. So today, if I sound a bit croaky, my bad. It just is what it is. I'm going to AA. But is what it is. But today, Ash, we're talking about Jerry Maguire, which was released in 1996. Jesus, it's almost 30 years old now. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, we're older.
Yeah, yeah, amen. That's true. Directed by Cameron Crowe, who also directed Almost Famous. That's why I picked this film because I thought you'd really like it. Budget of 50 million, box office of 274 million. So this has the Tom Cruise phase.
Hmm.
Quick synopsis. Everyone loved him. Everyone disappeared. The journey is everything. Jerry Maguire used to be a typical sports agent, willing to do just about anything he could to get the biggest possible contracts for his clients, plus a nice commission for himself. Then one day he suddenly has second thoughts about what he's really doing. When he voices these doubts, he ends up losing his job and all of his clients, save Rod Tidwell, which an egomaniac football player. This is Jerry Maguire. So, Ash, having never seen Jerry Maguire until now, what do you think of Cameron Crowe's Jerry Maguire?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I think it's very obvious that it's got the Cameron Crowe kind of effect there. I mean, you can just he's a certain way of writing characters that I feel like makes them very charming. So I feel like that was very clear here, which definitely made it more enjoyable. I do think that because they trying to combine like sports agent going out on his own, being like this good person mixed with like the rom-com aspects, it did come off as cheesy throughout for me, but that's not a
Okay.
problem. I think I kind of expect that with 90s and early 2000s
Yeah.
romance movies.
I think it's
Um,
cheesy now because of how
yes.
much it was done then.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a charm to it
Yeah.
though, but because I didn't grow up on it, I don't have the connection to it, so I'm only viewing it from my lens now. Um, but I didn't think the whole thing was cheesy. I just thought that parts of the romance were cheesy, to be expected. Kind of reminded me of some of the cheese you get with like The Wedding Singer, for example, which is also 90s. So I feel like it kind of has that same kind of charm, which does work for me for the most part. But yeah, I like the cast. I thought Tom Cruise played a sports agent, but also kind of like a charming good guy. He
Yeah.
played them both really well. I was kind of like thinking it was going to go in a different direction. I thought maybe he was going to have a bit more of that attitude that he has like as Caffey, like in A Few Good Men, like a little bit more of that type
Yeah.
of personality, but he really morphed into a much more emotional character. I think he just was obviously had like a facade up and obviously had intimacy problems. So that was kind of an interesting story for the type of character he was playing. And then obviously balancing him out with Cuba Gooding Jr., fantastic. Regina
Who's
King,
awesome. Oh,
fantastic.
so
They were
good.
my favorite as a couple. I thought they were so good. The sports stuff, I'll be honest, I'm not a sports gal. I don't care. I really don't care about football. So I didn't care about any of the scenes with sports, but I was invested in the story of him. And obviously him and Dorothy and kind of where that was going. I thought she was really great. I loved her and her son. loved her sister. Yeah, just kind of like a bunch of wholesome people, kind of all figuring things out. And I thought it was a very cheesy story, but I thought it was very lovable. And I think that nobody could have done it quite as well as Cameron Crowe. I think if someone else made this movie, or if they made it like more modern, it would definitely not be as good.
Yeah, hell yeah. I love that. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I shout out to Cuba Gooding because this was his breakout performance, and I thought he's awesome in this. There's just so many good one-liners in this film as well. And did you see, when you were watching it, you're like, oh, that's what that's from. Everyone knows sorry if there's a giant car just going past me.
Oh, no, you're good.
There's everyone knows the show me the money. Everyone knows
Show
that.
me the money, yeah.
But the you complete me and help me help you, help me help you. There's so
Yeah,
many.
I didn't know that was referenced from here.
Yeah.
You complete me, didn't know about that. I had heard about the You Had Me at Hello.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that when we get there. A little underwhelming, that moment for me, I'll be honest. Maybe because I had heard it so much that I was expecting something different. But yeah, lots of iconic lines that had no clue they all came from this movie. But it's not surprising. I mean, look at Almost Famous. How many one-liner quotable things is there from that movie? He's just really good at writing. So I think that's why his movies come off so charming. He has a good way of writing these phrases for characters to say that people just remember,
Yeah. And are we thinking of putting both Renee and Bonnie Hunt into the smoke show list, or is that just off the cards right now?
You talking about Bonnie Hunt or Kelly Preston?
Or Bonnie Hunt and Renee Zellweger.
Okay. I'm surprised you didn't say Kelly Preston, the one who's naked on top of Tom Cruise.
No, she's just super annoying.
Her character's awful.
Yeah, so immediate, looks wise, absolutely, but fuck off.
Her vibe sucks.
Yeah, you need
really
a good
sucks.
vibe. You need a good vibe for sure.
Yeah. No, I thought that she was a really awful character, but I think it was what was needed to get him to finally look for something different out of love. But I love Bonnie Hunt. I mean, I always just think of Jumanji when I think of her, and I love Renee Zellweger. I think she kind of obviously was the queen of rom-coms at this time. So I thought she was really sweet and really likable, and all her outfits were just on point.
She looks like the nicest person ever. Do you reckon? She gives off that vibe. That even nowadays,
so
even when she was doing interviews for the latest Bridget Jones, you could just tell she's just really kind. I like that.
Yeah, she kind of reminds me of the blonde woman who's always in Kevin Smith movie, not every Kevin Smith movie, like Chasing Amy. She's also in Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
She was that soft she kind of reminds me of her. They just have this softness to them and kind of angelic kind of nature to them. They're just very charming characters, and I don't know, I feel like they give off a very good vibe. And I think that was what was needed to go hand in hand with Jerry Maguire as a character. So yeah, I really enjoyed her.
Joey Lauren Adams is who you're thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah, she's also in Big Daddy, which one of the greatest films of all time. Yeah. Greatest films. Someone get this kid a Happy Meal. Anyway, Ash, shall we get into Jerry Maguire?
Yeah.
Jerry Maguire, played by Tom Cruise, is a glossy 35-year-old sports agent working for Sports Management International. First up, 35 years old. Bullshit. That guy looks like he's early 20s in this film. He does not look 30s. He does not look 30s.
He looks 35, but I don't think he looks 20. I think he looks like he's a little bit younger than us.
Let's say 27.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. After criticism from an injured player's son triggers a life-altering epiphany, he writes a mission statement about perceived dishonesty in the sports management business and how he believes it should be operated. He states his desire to work with fewer clients to produce a better, more caring personal relationship with them. He distributes it entitled The Things We Think and Do Not Say, the Future of Our Business. His co-workers are touched by his honesty and greet him with applause, but the management sends Bob's Sugar, played by Jay Mohr, I think it's pronounced Mohr, is how you spell it, Mohr? Yeah. Stupid name. Maguire's protege to fire him. Jerry and Sugar call all of Jerry's clients to try and convince them not to hire the services of each other. Jerry speaks to Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Rod Tillman, played by Cuba Gooding Jr., one of his smallest clients who's disgruntled with his pay. Rod tests Jerry's resolve through a long telephone conversation, which culminates with simply, "Show me the money." Show me the money! Oh man, such a good fucking scene. By the conclusion of the conversation, Bob has managed to persuade the rest of Jerry's clients to stick with SMI. Frank Cushman, played by Jerry O'Connell, piece of shit, a superstar quarterback prospect from from a southern university, expected to be number one in the draft, also stays with Jerry after he makes a visit to Cushman's home. Frank's father agrees, but insists on a handshake deal instead of a signed contract because, quote, his word is strong as oak.
Dad sucks.
Yes, he does. This movie is quite simple, so there isn't that many notes. So anything to kind of add here at the beginning of this, kind of like the introduction of Jerry and like what he's going through. Not to mention, I haven't put it in here, but like he does get fired here, and it's like that big walkout scene, and you see Renee Zellweger's character, which is Dorothy. Dorothy, she joins him because she read the mission statement and completely like is inawed by it. She completely loves it, and she finally sees it like an agent that like sees more than just a dollar, sees more than a client, which I think is really cool. And Bob Sugar.
It kind of reminded me of when Pam leaves with Michael in the office, like how she's the only one that goes with him.
Do you reckon I'm pretty sure that's a reference to this, right?
Maybe it is. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, I mean, I think the introduction, I love a good narration. I'm a big fan of that. I think the opening is good, talking about how some pop, some don't. Kind of like talking about how he's another shark in a suit and he doesn't like his place in the world. I think it's kind of refreshing. I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of sports movies, but when you expect a sports agent, you kind of think someone who's going to be super passionate about what they do, which he is, but he hates the world he lives in. He hates the role he plays in all of this. And obviously that kid really gets to him. That's Drake Bell, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes. That scene was in the documentary, the Nickelodeon one. And I was like, wait, I've seen this before. I had to look it up. And yeah, that's Drake Bell when he was young. He was a little bit heavier when he was a kid. So he's not like super recognizable, but kind of an interesting, I think it's his breakout role as well.
Wow, that makes, I'm just looking it up. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a really cool way to start the movie. You kind of just jump in instead of seeing, 30, 40 minutes of him doing what he normally does. We kind of just use this narration to get an idea of where he's at. And then it just kind of shifts into the mission statement, which I think is a really interesting way to start the movie. I really liked it. Fewer clients, less money, caring more. I think these are all like really good things that he's trying to do in a world that usually doesn't care about anything but money. From what I know about sports and sports contracts, it's all about the money. So I think it's a really refreshing concept. I think the plane scene with Dorothy and her son, super cute. I love when she says, I have it written down here, but she says something about, first class used to be a better meal. Now it's a better life. But that was really interesting. She's so cute. I love their relationship, her and Ray. I think it's really sweet. And I love how she has that like nervous kind of chatty personality. I think that's a very charming trope in rom-coms for the woman to have that. So I really like that. Otherwise, I think you covered everything. I mean, I think taking him to lunch to fire him is brutal.
Yeah, in a public place, that's very much on purpose. That's done a lot nowadays. Yeah.
Like, Tom Cruise is his mentor, and he's fucking firing him. I would be so pissed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cuba Gooding Jr., fantastic. Show me the money, fantastic. And then the speech about taking the fish.
Yeah.
And the way he like gently scoops it up.
Fish. Yeah.
There's so much sensitivity in his character, even when he's kind of being boisterous and seems confident on the outside. Like he has a lot of sensitivity to him, which I think is a really interesting role for Tom Cruise that I wasn't expecting. But I liked it. I thought it was thought he really well acted, and yeah, I just really liked him as a character, which I wasn't really expecting to when the movie first started. So I think they do a good job at setting him up as like a likable person, even though he obviously fucks up multiple times throughout the movie. He's still a likable guy. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, I think it's just a really solid intro and has some good music and yeah, great one-liners. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had to add. And by the way, the Texas dad, the tomato juice and beer, that's a real thing that my family does. Yes, no, it's a real thing. There's a restaurant that we go to with my family and they all order tomato juice and beer. It's fucking disgusting.
Ash, we got to talk about your country. We got to talk about your country.
No, I don't want to talk about it. That's all I'm gonna say.
We got to talk about your country because this is wild. Your country's in tatters. Like
Yeah,
it's absolutely in tatters. This is fucked. But I'm glad that you're getting rid of paper straws. So that's pretty good.
we're not even going to talk about that. Oh, and last thing I'll add is Cameron Crowe being great at writing, that's a given.
Mm,
But he knows music timing.
he
I don't
does.
know if I'm assuming he's involved in the music and where it goes in the movie, but the
Mm.
timing of every song in this so far at this part of the movie, solid.
Don't you reckon
Perfect.
90s rom coms have like some of the best soundtracks of all
They
time?
do.
They're
Even early
like,
2000s ones. I think that, yeah, that 10-year span, like 93 to 2003 or like 94 to 2004,
hell yeah.
solid.
Hell yeah. That's so good. Anyway, leaving the office, Jerry announces he will start his own agency and asks if anyone will join him, to which only 26-year-old mother Dorothy Boyd, played by Renee Zellweger, agrees. The two had previously bumped into each other at the airport, and Boyd told Maguire personally that she was inspired, how inspiring she found his memo. He's like, it's a mission statement, but doesn't matter. So, fun fact here, Renee Zellweger admitted that the day that she was cast in the movie, it had been so long since she'd worked that she went to the ATM and she did not have enough balance to make a withdrawal. And that's with the day that she got the job. So she would have been big pay, which is good. So fun fact also here with Renee Zellweger, she auditioned 3 times with Tom Cruise and later received a personal call from Cameron Crowe while she was attending Sundance Film Festival. Crowe thanked her for her time and she thanked him for being considered. And just as the call was about to end, Crowe asked, "Well, do you want the job?" And that was it. So that's pretty funny. I love how those two things, like she went to the ATM and didn't have enough money to go to make a withdrawal, but she's also gone to Sundance Film Festival, like on that same day that she got
Well, I'm
the
sure
job.
she didn't pay.
Oh yeah, probably. She probably got sent. Yeah, that's true. But I think it's just funny.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Jerry travels to the NFL draft with Kush and convinces Rod to come too to meet representatives of other NFL teams. Though Rod at first feels neglected compared to the superstar Kush, Sugar contacts Matt Cushman, which is Kush's dad, while Jerry is in the lobby with Rod. Bob Sugar persuades Kush and his racist father to sign with the SMI. With SMI behind Jerry's back after seeing Jerry spend time to introduce Rod and who like 2 other football executives. So Jerry is devastated and turns to his fiancee Avery, played by Kelly Preston, bitch, for support, but she
Rest in
rebukes.
peace.
Oh yeah, my bad. But she rebukes him. Oops. And he breaks up with her. He then turns to Dorothy, becoming closer to her young son Ray, played by Jonathan Lipinski, and eventually starts a relationship with her. However, without any money coming in, Dorothy contemplates moving to San Diego as she has a secure job offer there. So, fun fact here, couple ones here for you. Jonathan Lipinski showed up one day to set, telling everyone that, quote, the human head weighs 8 pounds. Writer, producer, and director Cameron Crowe liked it so much that he wrote it in the script. He just kept telling everyone that was on set, which is cute. Fun fact again here, the scene in which Jerry Maguire and Ray are talking in the living room for the first time was completely ad-libbed.
Wow.
Cameron Crowe wanted to create a genuine feel between the two and did so by not having any written dialogue for that particular scene at all. That really does seem like a scripted scene of how well it's done, so that's
Oh, especially
really
for a
cool.
child actor.
Yeah, for sure. So Jerry concentrates all his efforts on Rod, not he now his only client, which turns out to be very difficult to satisfy. In bad need of money, Jerry calls in a favor to get a contract extension from Rod's current team, the Arizona Cardinals, but receives a lowball offer. So they're expecting $10 million over 3 years, and I think he gets given an offer for like 1.3 or 1.5, less than $2 million for 3 years.
For
So
like
like
3 years, yeah.
for like less than 20% of what he wanted. So Rod and his wife decide to pass on the offer despite Jerry's warnings that if he gets injured, he will receive nothing. So anything to add here, Ash? Kind of like the introduction of the relationship between Dorothy and Jerry, and like the introduction of her son Ray, of course, and then like basically now Jerry's in it with one client only. We knew that Kush was going to do this, and I
Yeah.
really was hoping that there was going to be an ending where Kush gets like completely wrecked by his agent, by Sugar. I
Well,
thought would have been kind of justified, because just the way that Kush's dad is, I think it's deserved. But
yeah,
yeah,
but sadly, I think that's the point is that that stuff doesn't happen to people like that, you know?
yeah,
And I think it's interesting that they even threw in, like, clearly the dad is expressing racism when he's telling Jerry, like, oh, you were busy with the other guy. I think he says, like, the black fella or
yeah,
something like that. So I
Immediately,
think,
you're like, I hate you. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he's a Texan, so we can't be too surprised. And he's obviously older. I mean, it's like he's from that part of America,
Yeah.
so it definitely fits. But it is very disheartening that that would make someone just walk away just because they were trying to help promote their other client. But I like that he ended up having just Rod. I love their dynamic. I think that Cuba Gooding Jr. and Tom Cruise, like they're so different and their energies are so different that I think they match each other really well. I really like when he says, like, help me help you, like you mentioned earlier.
Help
And
me. Help you.
he's like, you think we're fighting and I think we're finally talking. Like I love this like dynamic that, Rod is clearly a different type of person and he expresses himself very differently than Jerry. He's very outspoken and like his family seems like the kind of family they fight and yell, but they still love each other.
Yeah.
Whereas Jerry doesn't really know what to do with these like relationships. He's just kind of, he's trying, but he isn't quite connecting. So I
He's
think
loyal
it's
though, isn't
really
he,
good.
Rod?
Very
Like,
loyal.
like, like
Yeah.
you can see, like Rod, he's outspoken. He's very maniac and stuff. But
Yeah.
there's a couple of times where Sugar comes up to Rod, and it's literally Sugar trying to
Hmm.
steal Rod, his only
Yeah.
client, and he's just like he immediately is like, get away from me. Like immediately
Hmm.
he has like he never accepts a conversation there, which I really love that about Rod because I agree with you. He's just like he's completely opposite of Jerry, where he's very impulsive, or Jerry's very planned
Yes.
out. But just like the way he is, but he's 100% loyal. I think it's because because he's portrayed like such a family man. He's doing everything to get
Yeah.
money for his family.
Well, he
And
is a loyal person. You can
yeah,
tell. I mean, him and his wife have a very happy marriage. He loves his
everyone would
kids.
be
He
if they're
even,
married to Regina King.
yeah, I mean, it's a great representation of like a really close-knit family and couple who really want to fight for one another and their
Yeah.
life together. And I think it's really important. They clearly inspired Dorothy and Jerry because that scene at the table when they're like all together later on, and they can clearly see how in love they are versus how in love they aren't, or at least how they're acting towards each other. So
Yeah.
I think it's a really important couple and a really important character, Rod, for Jerry and his like character progression. So I really like their dynamic. I think the sister having a club for divorced women is
Oh,
hilarious.
it's so
That had me
funny.
dying. I was
It's
cracking up every time those women were talking.
men
Um,
men are the enemy and stuff.
yeah. At first, I was like, "What is this group of women?" I couldn't quite like make it out, and then when they said it, I was like, "Okay, yeah, that makes
It
sense."
makes sense. What did you think of the relationship between the sisters? Who's Bonnie Hunt's name? Laurel
Laurel.
and Jerry, because she's very standoffish with Jerry, but he
Yeah.
never really shows anything to Laurel for her to dislike him. I think it's just more that like because she knows that her sister is a young single mother, that she has a lot more to lose in a relationship
Yeah.
like a
She
than the
seems
man.
protective,
Yeah,
but
protective is a good word. Yeah,
she seems to see how charming he is, and I think that's the thing. He's charming, so I think he's good at talking. He
yeah,
talks for a living. He gets, people to trust him for a living, so it's like he is good, and they even talk about this. Like he does friendship really well.
yeah,
It's the intimacy that's the problem. So I don't think it's an issue of getting people to like him or want him around. It's can I trust you with my heart?
yeah,
I think is the question at the end of the day. But I think when Dorothy starts seeing him with Ray,
yeah.
quickest way to a woman's heart, be close and adorable with her son, obviously. So I think those scenes are really sweet. There's some funny ones from Ray, like you said fuck, or
I won't tell.
when
Yeah,
he, yeah, I won't tell, or just when they're talking on the couch and she thinks he's asleep. That's one of my favorite scenes. Just them
mm.
two on the couch, just being genuine with each other. I think it's one of the sweetest things ever. And I do love when he comes over drunk. I think that's that same night. I feel like Cameron Crowe loves a good looking drunk guy speech.
Oh yeah,
I was thinking of the character in Almost Famous too. The main musician guy who has his drunk speech as well. So that was making me laugh. Just lots of comedic moments throughout this section of the movie. Just getting to know these characters that are all really charming and great in their own ways. So yeah, I think the romance, it's not the most believable in my
mm-hmm.
opinion, but the whole love at first sight thing I feel like was really sold at this time of rom-coms, where you could only spend like a couple weeks with somebody and you're just absolutely smitten and in love. So it's not too surprising, but it is hard to watch now that I'm older. I'm just kind of like,
Mm.
would a 26-year-old woman really fall that quickly? I don't know, but he is pretty charming,
Hey,
so
it's
maybe.
Tom fucking Cruise.
I'm not gonna lie, when he was wearing the unbuttoned, like kind of corduroy shirt and the
Yep, with the
t-shirt and
white
the
shirt
jeans, I was like,
underneath.
oh, such a 90s dad vibe, but it works.
It works. What I love though is that Cameron didn't put anything in here to kind of test Jerry's loyalty with the relationship. There's no like
Yeah.
his like ex girlfriend coming back trying to swoon him again. It's nothing like that. He's just like because like at the end of the day, that like every character here is loyal. Like
Yeah.
Rod Tillman loyal, but Jerry, I think his loyalty can be seen by how much he gives a fuck about his clients. At first with Rod, it's like you're my only client. I need this to
Mm.
work. But then it's like by the end of it, like it's very much like Jerry is a family man, and he
Yeah.
represents that. He sees that like Rod's family is really important to him, so he's doing it for and his family as well. And that's how I kind
Yeah.
of see
No,
like
I
how
definitely
Dorothy
agree.
sees the loyalty there.
Yeah, and it's an interesting character because, most of the time when you see like a good-looking guy like this who's just dating like maybe good-looking women for kind of the wrong reasons, you kind of think he's a dick or he's like, he's not the greatest person. But to me, he came off as someone who's dating women like this because of his own struggles with intimacy. And he wants women who are going to be easier to stay detached from emotionally because
Mm.
he doesn't know how to connect. So it's easier to be with someone like Avery than it is to be with someone like Dorothy because there's way more risk involved and he's going to have to actually try. And I think with the other women, it's much easier and he likes it that way. So I don't think that he's like being with them to kind of be like a douchebag. I think he just genuinely is trying to have to not get deep,
Yeah,
and I think in that video, even at the bachelor party, or we're not bachelor, is it bachelor party that they throw for him early in the movie where they
yeah,
play that video?
yeah.
I think that was a wake up call for him. Like seeing this video of all these women talking about how he cannot have intimacy, he can't commit, he has intimacy issues, like that affected him. And I
Big time.
think that's kind of where he shifted. And it was like that was not the last straw, but it was getting closer to the last straw. And then Avery made it easier with her behavior. So I think that was kind of a turning point from at least the way I interpreted it.
Yeah. No, well said. Well said. Well, I've got one more half page of notes, so I will go into the last bit of Jerry Maguire. So over the next several months, the two direct harsh criticism towards each other, with Rod claiming that Jerry is not trying hard enough to get him a contract, while Jerry claims that Rod is not proving himself worthy of the money that he asks for. Both are kind of correct. But at the same time, Rod doesn't understand that Jerry is fucking broke. This culminates with the famous line of "Help me, help you," which is great. It's like help, like do what you can to get you in a good image, and let me capitalize on that. Like absolutely, this seems to finally get across to Rod to stop complaining and start playing his heart out. So Jerry marries Dorothy. I love that; it just comes out of the blue. Marries Dorothy to help them both stay afloat financially and keep her from moving away. He's emotionally and physically distant during the marriage, but is clearly invested in becoming a father to Ray. Rod takes Jerry's advice to prove he's worthy of his contract. He's playing well, and his team is finally winning. Jerry's marriage with Dorothy deteriorates as they struggle financially, with Dorothy losing hope that it will work out. Although Dorothy is in love, she breaks up with him because she believes he does not love her. So this whole thing is all about she loves him, but she just can't see the way that he loves her yet. So before the start of the Christmas 1995 ABC Monday night football game between the Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys, Sugar attempts to steal Rod, but is rebuked by Rod and Jerry. The two reconcile soon after. During the game, Rod catches the game-winning touchdown that secures a spot for the Cardinals in the playoffs, but appears to have received a serious injury in the process. After a few scary minutes, he regains consciousness and celebrates with a dance for a wildly cheering crowd. I love this where he wakes up and goes, "Just let me enjoy this for a moment." I love that. Afterwards, Jerry and Rod embrace in front of other athletes and sport agents, and showing how their relationship has progressed from a strictly business one to a close personal one. Exactly what Jerry wanted to do at the beginning of the film, which was one of the points that Jerry made in his mission statement. I should stop going off my notes because I say the same thing twice. Then Jerry flies back to meet Dorothy. He walks in front of all her friends at what is it called? The divorced women's
It's just
meeting.
like I think almost like a book club, but
Yeah.
just divorced women get around and bitch.
Drink wine and bitch, yeah, and hate men. He walks in front of all the friends, and Sister Laurie, played by Bonnie Hunt, says hello. Then speaks for several minutes, telling her that he loves her and wants her in her life, ending with the statement, "You complete me." Dorothy replies to Jerry, saying, "You had me at hello." Ah, good line. Rod later appears on Roy Firestone's sports show. Unbeknownst to him, Jerry has secured an $11.2 million contract with the Cardinals that allows him to finish his pro football career at Arizona for the next 4 years. The visibly emotional Rod proceeds to thank everyone and extends a warm gratitude to Jerry. Jerry speaks with several other pro athletes, some of whom had read his early mission statement and respect his work with Tidwell. Jerry, Dorothy, and Ray walk in the park and stumble across a Little League baseball game. When the ball lands near them, Ray throws it back. A surprised Jerry then comments on his natural throwing ability and possible future in sports, much to Dorothy's dismay. So that is Jerry Maguire. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Jerry Maguire. Well done. Unreal. So, Ash, anything to add to this last part? And also your final review and score.
Can you imagine if I just said no?
No.
Nothing. You know me. I'm a talker. I'm going to add stuff.
I can't stop.
Mostly just my thoughts and lines that I like.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so where did we leave off? So I think the move / proposal. This is very frustrating to me.
Go on.
I think he was being very selfish when he proposed because he knew that would keep her there.
Yep.
And he did have intentions of marrying her, but I think they were for the wrong reasons, which he shares with Rod. I think, he thinks it's a nice life. She's committed. She's loyal. She's a good person. She has a good kid. It's a nice life. Even when he's asking him, why do you love her? He doesn't even know how to answer it. He's like, how do you know?
He's just like, yeah, she's loyal. Yeah, that's how she says it.
Yeah, he's looking for a lifestyle and not specifically why he loves this person. And I think that's why he loses her temporarily, because it's not just about creating a shell of what a good life looks like. Love is about actually falling in love with the person because of who they are and what, they add to your life, not because of what the life looks like on the outside. So I think those conversations with Rod were really important. We can't just gloss over the quote of don't shoplift the pootie. I thought that was
that was good.
That was funny. That made me laugh. And I thought it was a really selfish decision, and it was very sad at first, when Ray's like, go ahead and go. I think as a kid, he sees this hope for a life he can have kind of just taken away from him, and he doesn't understand. And then obviously like a shell shock of, we're leaving. Oh wait, no, now we're staying and we're getting married. It's all very selfish for multiple reasons. So that really frustrated me, but I kind of figured it was gonna, come back around to be something different. Otherwise, I just like that Rod is like making Jerry a better person. Wasn't expecting that. I think that was a really cool kind of progression for their friendship and him as a character. He's not just this football player that we're just seeing him as this like one-dimensional character. Like he's so much and he's so important in the movie. Like his whole role in Jerry's life is much more important than I was expecting it to be. Otherwise, I think those are kind of the key ones for me. Obviously, you covered the big, the breakup and then the reconciliation with "You Complete Me," "Just Shut Up, You Had Me at Hello." Very iconic. Didn't hit me as hard as I was expecting it to. I think maybe I just didn't know when the moment was going to happen. And so maybe I was anticipating it too much since I knew about it. But I still thought it was very perfect rom-com fashion, very sweet. I always love this in rom-coms that they give a speech in front of a bunch of people.
So good.
Like in a real relationship, I can't imagine someone giving a speech in front of like 11 people, but they're talking to one person. You know what I mean? It seems very unrealistic, but it's perfect for movies. I love it. Ending's very, very classic. I think the intense moments of, Rod possibly not waking up, his wife, panicking. I think those are all really important moments for where their characters have been from the start to now. They've been through so much, in that moment of like thinking you might lose that after you just had a new baby. It's all very scary and devastating. So I think that was a good way for, their characters to kind of go. And obviously he just gets up and starts dancing like nothing happened. Good. Perfect. I thought it was a very wholesome, charming movie. I think it's very cheesy in parts. I think it's very unrealistic in parts, but that's fine. That works for this genre of film. Love Cameron Crowe. I think he writes really good characters. He writes really good dialogue, which is clear. We've talked about that. And I think the ending was perfect. It's like a full bookend kind of storybook ending. I mean, starts by him saying, how you're looking for the ones that pop. And then we end with fucking Ray throwing the ball like that. So I think it's a perfect ending. Movie surprised me. Definitely really enjoyed it, and we'll definitely probably watch it again. I gave it 4 stars.
Hell yeah, that's good. I expected 4 stars. That's great. I also gave it 4 stars. I think this movie is just like I don't want to say the word classic, but you know what I mean. It's very like
Mhm.
it's a product of the time.
Yeah,
It's endlessly rewatchable. In terms of like you could easily watch this once a year and be happy. Like it's such a harmless film.
yes.
Yeah, it's a very easy watch, and I think Tom Cruise is awesome. I love this guy so much. He's great in this role. It really reminded me of Rain Man, like Rain Man's character if he wasn't a dick. Like you know what I mean, like that salesman
Hmm.
type role that he's very good at playing. But he's just not.
It's an interesting comparison. I didn't think about that. I can see where you're going with that.
Yeah, yeah. But I think he's awesome in this. I love his relationship with Ray in this film as well. I think it's perfect. I think that's where he finds the true love is like the being a father with like to Ray. I think is awesome, and I think that like Ray really loves Jerry in this as well, which is really adorable. But yeah, I think
Hmm.
this movie is just great. I gave it 4 stars as well. I think everyone's great in it as well. I think yeah, this is just endlessly rewatchable for me. Yeah. So that is the end of the Tom Cruise month, Ash, and we are entering a new month, which is yet another Tom Cruise month.
Can you
We're
imagine?
doing another one. No, next month we're dedicating 4 films. So the month of May, just going to be all 4 films to the late great Val Kilmer. So we're starting off next week with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, a movie I have never seen.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. Yeah, apparently I'm gonna love it as well. So I'm
You're
really
gonna.
yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. Then we're going to Tombstone, then Willow, and then finishing it off with Top Gun. So we technically get another Tommy Cruise in here. So
You do.
I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. So May is going to be our Val Kilmer dedication month. We'll think of a different name, maybe the Killmongering month. I don't know. We'll think of something. Is what it is. But yeah, for next week, please do watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. But until then, we're going to go into a little bit of a draft to finish off the episode and finish off the month. Just easy movie draft. Now that we finished the Tom Cruise month, we're going to do our 5 favorite Tom Cruise movies each draft. I did the random wheel generator, and Ash, you won it by literally a millimeter. So you get the
Oh,
first pick of the best Tom Cruise movie for pick
okay.
number 1. It was going back and forth because there's only 2 of us.
Okay. Well, I have a lot less options than you.
Yeah,
I have
you
12
do.
options. So I think just because I have to, I have to take Top Gun Maverick first
That's fair.
because
No,
you have every Mission Impossible to pick
that's
from. I've
that's
never
fair.
seen
Fair
any of
enough.
them.
If you didn't take Top Gun, it was either that or another one, which is one that I'm going to pick. I would have taken Top Gun Maverick. So fair enough. Um, that's a great first pick. That in the watching that in the theater, it was epic. That movie was
I
so
didn't get to
goddamn
see it
good.
in theaters. I was so sad, but I really enjoyed it even watching it at home. It's still fun.
Did I tell you how I saw it? I
Mm-mm.
saw it in what's called in Australia 4DX, where the seats move with the
Yeah,
movie.
I've heard of this.
So the seats, it's really like it's very similar. It's all identical to what's happening on the screen. So if like the plane's taking off, it like jerks you back and like makes you feel like you're like about to take off. And then like when missiles are going past the jet, it like there's an airport next to your head. It goes.
I wouldn't like that.
Oh, it's so cool. It is so cool. But yeah, Top Gun Maverick, well done. My pick number 1 is going to be one of the funniest films of all time with Tropic Thunder.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're gonna take a Mission Impossible. See, you can save those because I haven't seen them. That sucks. That
Yes.
sucks for me.
Hey, you just got to watch them. You'll love them. You'll love them.
Well, because it was my favorite of
Mm-hmm.
our new watches, and it's my favorite. If I ranked Tom Cruise movies, I'll take A Few Good Men. We've
Good
already
one.
raved about it last week, but I absolutely love that movie. I think that's probably his best role for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough. That was going to be my next
Tropic
pick.
Thunder is so good though.
It's so fucking good, isn't it? Hmm. I'm going to take Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut for my second pick.
Nice. I was a little disappointed with that one. It was so hyped up for me, I think,
It
that I
is
was
very
uh,
hyped up. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it should go to number 1. But
it's good, but I think Nicole Kidman actually in that one is kind of the shining star for me over
yep.
Tom Cruise,
Yep.
which she's
Agreed.
just not in it as much as him. So,
Wholeheartedly agree.
okay. Well, I think I'm just gonna keep going down the line of my favorites here, and I'll take Minority Report.
Yep. Good work. Yeah.
Absolutely super fun
The
action
movie's
flick.
fun as hell, isn't it?
Oh, good. I mean, it's Spielberg. He knows what he's doing.
Well, speaking of Spielberg, I'm going to go number three with War of the
War of the Worlds.
Worlds. I love War of the Worlds.
I need to rewatch it. It's been a long time.
Just so everyone knows, if they're yelling, I don't have any Mission Impossibles on here yet because Ash hasn't seen any. So I know
You
I.
didn't want to just do 5 Mission Impossible
Yeah,
movies?
I could. I very much could. But if you want to do six, we can do six, by the way. But
Sure.
you can make the call. Like,
Well, I think I'm going to take one that we haven't talked about that I've seen well before this month that I've always enjoyed, and that's Interview with the Vampire.
nice work.
I think that's kind of an underrated one that people don't really talk about anymore.
Wholeheartedly.
God, the cast for that. Let me just read this
Go
first four
ahead.
to you. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Antonio Banderas, and Christian Slater.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you have Kirsten Dunst as like 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Insane cast.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, number four, I'm going to go with one that we did this month, which is probably my favorite of the ones that we did this month, which is Collateral.
Nice.
I love Collateral. Collateral has so much. Shout out Alex Coleman. He gets me. He understands
Yes,
me.
yeah.
My
You guys
my
got
my
the
main
sauce with
goal
that
in
one.
life is to dap up Alex Coleman. Just me and him. Just then I can fly back to Sydney. It'll be fun.
That's funny. Okay.
How many do you have left? Because we can do more if you want to do more.
Well, if we do six, two. I don't have that many left to select from, so probably six is like the max.
Okay.
This will be my fifth pick, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll take Jerry Maguire.
I like that.
Gotta have a rom-com on the list. Would you consider it a rom-com?
Yep.
A sports rom-com with some drama? It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a little bit of everything.
No, for sure. All right. Now we get to the nitty gritty. Because I only wanted to pick one Mission Impossible because I could do literally so many.
Mm-hmm.
But I do really like a couple of other these movies.
Yeah, you've seen more of his filmography, so I feel
Yeah,
like you
I
could kind of
love-
go more directions.
I love him. I love him so much. I'm not going to pick The Mummy. I thought that was terrible. I am going to pick Edge of Tomorrow.
Nice.
Him and Emily Blunt. I think that movie's sick.
Yeah, I need to watch that one. I'm sure I would like
Oh,
it.
you will love it. Yeah, you will love it. You got so many good movies to watch.
I know. As much as I'm a big Austin Powers fan, don't like Goldmember,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to pick that.
Is he in Goldmember? Oh, he is.
Yeah, he is,
Oh, wow.
but I don't like that one. Final pick, huh? I just don't know if I want to go with like. Let's just go with a classic from like growing up. I feel like I'll take Risky Business. It's just
no
like more
problem.
fun and iconic. It's not like a fantastic movie by any means, but I
Yep.
think he's very fun in it, and he's so young. 1983. That's
Yeah.
like 13 years earlier than what we just watched.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nuts,
But
right?
that's just one of those classic movies that you just have to see at least once in your life.
You do. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm going to take a Mission Impossible. So I'm going to take my favorite Mission Impossible. Either one of these could be the correct answer. You could say Ghost Protocol. Number 4, it's unreal. 5, Rogue Nation, unbelievable. Even 6, Dead Reckoning Part 1 is great. But my favorite by far, wait, no, Dead Reckoning Part 1 is 7, I think, yeah, is number 6, which is Mission Impossible Fallout. I think that is one of the greatest action films of all time. Watching that for the first time, I won't forget that. That movie is fucking amazing. So if you haven't seen Mission Impossible Fallout, Ash, please do watch Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to rewatch them all. They're so good, Ash. It's up there with one of my favorite franchises of all time. Nice.
All right.
All right,
You sold
to
me.
summarize, Ash had Top Gun Maverick, A Few Good Men, Minority Report, Interview with a Vampire, Jerry Maguire, and Risky Business. Me, myself, Harry. I had Tropic Thunder, Eyes Wide Shut, War of the Worlds, Collateral, Edge of Tomorrow, and Mission Impossible Fallout.
Nice.
So that is the end of Tom Cruise month. So again, next week we're starting up a month of Val Kilmer dedication with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang for the first one. So please do watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang for next month. But until then, I'm Harry, it's Ash. Loved at the movies. See the movies.